Oh, this is the same. Yeah, it's the same guy here. Hey, bro. Thanks. Well, I don't know what to say. You are some kind of. Thanks. Thank you so much. I can't believe you have been healing for so long and haven't heard of you. Well, you know, I've just had. It's tough out there. I mean, we've been around a lot of people that I guess you could use the word famous. We've always helped some of these people, but they really haven't helped promote us much. I think Mutt Lang is probably the one that's promoted us the most, and he's been a good friend for a lot of years, and he's just really. He took out after this, and same with Eileen, which is Shania Twain. They took after this pretty aggressively. Sometimes when you have deeper issues, you have to hang in there a little longer, but Mutt really, he tore it apart. And then he had to balance out like everybody else. So there's just things we learned there. But I feel so blessed. Thank you so much. You're quite a sweet guy here, man. I appreciate your comments. I tell you, we work hard. We try to make everybody happy. We try to help people. I don't know. Oh, I healed from Crohn's in 2002. Good for you, man. I tell you what, you moved that lymph because, you know, that lymph just sits there and burns away, and pretty soon then you start breaking down the cells, and then they become cancer cells. But it's that lymph burn that's, yeah, so good work on yourself there. Years of suffering in just 3 months from the main detox and 6 months from other smaller issues. Wow, you've been kicking butt there, man. I like this. Fruit Kituppy 062 from rear stopped in just 3 weeks. Wow, you really kick butt. A stem approach cost the medical road just leads to misery. It does. They reconstructed my nose thinking pus was dripping from my nose down my throat. I guess that's what you meant. Into my bowel, affecting it, causing it Crohn's. Yeah, you know, you see some of the most stupidest diagnosis in allopathy you've ever seen. Now, I won't beat us up. I'm sure naturopaths come up with some doozies too. But I'm telling you, when you don't understand the lymph system and you don't understand how the kidneys and the role that plays in that, then you really way off beat. And we can keep tying this in. I've tied this in for so many years before I got and taught it. I had to make sure we were right. They wanted to give me knee replacements for the joint pain. They wanted to take out my tonsils. And lastly, but not least, my bowel. Yeah, that's their answer to stagnant interstitial lymphatic constipation is removal. Well, this is true of the lymph nodes and everything else, like the tonsils and everything else. The only resource I have to receive nutrition from the outside world and be able to heal. They were going to take that away. Oh, yeah. Boy, you had a rough way to go. I don't know what led me to David Klein, but he held my hand and helped me my heal in such a messed up world. Yeah, there's good spiritual souls all around the planet. They're all good. Doug's good. They're all good guys. If I disagree with some of the way someone thinks about a diet or something, or I make an off-the-wall comment about something about a diet, that's not against the person. It's against what I think about what they think about the particular diet or whatever they're promoting. That's all it is. And we all have our differences in those levels. But I think we all agree that 80% or more of the diet should be fruits and berries and melons and vegetables. I think 80% of the diet should be fruits, berries, and melons, and 20% being vegetables. You know, that's just the way I look at it personally. Plenty of proteins and stuff like that in the vegetables and fruits. But my point earlier about the teeth, sometimes I get off track. But he was regenerating teeth or tooth enamel on fruit. I tried to show everyone the simple truth about humans. It's hard, isn't it? When you're trying to show one simple truth, the mind comes in and some people just sit there in confusion because the mind has blocked their ability to see truth. And unfortunately, our educational system doesn't take into account for the soul or the true consciousness of the individual. Their job is to enhance the intellect or the mind. The problem is you never want the mind to control your life because then you're not very happy. The mind is a brute sometimes, for sure. I stopped trying to share the truth because I thought the world wasn't ready for it. Well, that's why I did this. Tell you the truth there, since we're talking about it. This is why I did the healing side of it and kind of got away from out-of-body traveling and Eckankar and stuff in that way. The masters kind of withdrew a little bit. They put in someone someone asked me about Eckankar and why I left it and stuff, and Darwin had put an individual up, and I think there was issues back then probably somewhat, but not what they're touting. But this individual to me was always I want to be a preacher man. Went to school to be a preacher man. Always wanted to be a preacher man, so he turned Eckankar into a religion of the light and sound. Well, the very word religion isn't a word that we would use in spirituality because of what it really represents. And this individual just couldn't get with the higher awareness of soul plane and higher into these higher realms, and couldn't. His writings weren't taking chelas to these higher levels, and so a lot of the higher chelas left. And I was involved in that group, although we were always getting blamed for everything. All the higher initiates in Eckankar. I mean, I worked my butt off trying to put this higher awareness all through Texas, all through Indiana, all through Florida, and I put on hundreds, literally hundreds, if not thousands, of talks. Some I think I told you were attended by no one physically, but a lot of people out of body, and so it's just life, and you just go on. I think Johnny Appleseed, you can never stop giving and trying to help people understand the higher levels. You just have to find how you do it in a manner that they don't shut their door right off. A lot of people shut their doors. Well, one place where people are suffering is their physical health, their emotional health, and their mental health. So that's why right now is the time. People like you are needed. Now you can take what you've learned and you can go out there and you can really use it. And especially when you're a part of a powerful team that's going into the world and healing it, I think you're going to find why you have all that awareness and why suddenly now it's your time. And I think this is your time. And it's everyone else's time to awaken now, and we have to stand strong as a group. I think this is the perfect doorway to go through, because it's a doorway that leads you into governments and everywhere else, because everybody's dying. And there's only one really true path to walk down. You can argue diet down this path a little bit, but that's the path. And if you don't follow the path, then the body's going to have a hard way to go, because with the way the kidneys and adrenals are and the lymph systems are, if you don't start getting them cleaned up, they're chewing people up. Cancer's just tearing up people. But cancer, keep in mind, isn't a disease. Cancer's just acids damaging cells. I think we ought to find another word. I like your post there. There is a high fruit dude called Barry Corral, and he has a fruit farm. Ooh, I bet he's got some killer fruit over there in USA. And it's all organic, and he can ship to you, I'm sure. DTM knows him well. Oh, well, I'll have to check that out. You will like him. I'm sure I will. If a guy has fruit, and I bet his fruit is super good. You're growing your own fruit. You're gonna make some good. Hey, thanks for all this information, guy. I'm really appreciative, and thank you. Love you, man. I have thrombocytosis and taking the medication Hydrea to reduce my platelet count. What food and herb recommendation do you have? How do I safely get off the medication? And this is Lulu Belly's mommy. This has got to be a female. And only a female would write something like that, I think. Well, I'm going to assume it is because of the name there. So, honey, first of all, the fruits, berries, and melons are perfect for this sort of thing. The fruits and the berries and the melons, they clean the liver, clean the spleen, keep the blood perfect, keep the platelets perfect. So if you're having platelet problems, first of all, you got to clean the spleen. clean the liver, get the, if you're low in platelets, get the bone marrow up. If you have high platelets, just detoxify the body. Get the spleen detoxified. Get the kidneys filtering first, and the adrenals, of course. That'll keep the blood perfect. You can use the blood formula. I created that formula to enhance blood, to enhance the cells, to clean the blood, and of course an enzymatic rich diet like with the raw fruits, berries, and melons, high in flavonoids, keeps the blood cells separated, keeps them from clustering and following each other like choo-choo trains, cleans the blood up good. The herbs like the parasite M's and stuff like that, but keep in mind the blood just picks up some of the trash. You know, hard not to get some trash in the blood through the lymph system since these two fluids come together a lot. But that's what the spleen is for, and also the kidneys. You know, there is some filtering of the blood in the kidneys, no question. But the predominant role of the kidneys is lymph, not blood. Spleen is more of a blood and lymph organ, but I've always considered the spleen as the tissues that refurbishes blood, and that's a blood dump itself and clean itself through the lymph system. And therefore, the blood refurbishes its red blood cells and stuff like that. It's platelets. If you want to really get to the source, then you're at the bone marrow. But just clean your body out, detoxify your body, the raw living foods, get into the kidneys and use the herbs, and this will keep you perfect. Perfect. You'll never have to worry about blood clots or anything like that. You'll never have. And any type, if you also have, and this is also, I was thinking in terms of pulling blood like spider veins or particularly varicose veins, get your parathyroid up. Start strengthening your connective tissue in your body, and that'll strengthen all your vascular walls. And I do have to take off from here and go because I got to write this lady's protocol up from last night. This poor thing is suffering. Shelby there, you hang in there, young one. You get your, this lady's fighting gastroparesis, which is paralysis of the stomach. And that is not fun. You can't eat much without throwing up, and it's just not fun. So you just have to get your health back and work it back, and she is. She's getting better and better and better, and she's working her health back. It's got a little bit of a journey at first. But your journey seems to be long sometimes at first, but after a while, the little choo-choo train goes over the mountain, and down we go. So just hang in there, you lovely ones, and I appreciate all your feedback. And hang in there. We're a good, strong force to be reckoned with. I love all of you. Keep healing yourselves. Your stories are just fascinating. I love them. I think now's the time we all wake up. As many of us that are ready, and we'll be the ones that help the world, and then we can go on and do our journeys from here. So thank you so much. Love you all, and have a fun day there. And I hope those in pain keep working through it, and you'll have relief soon. All righty. Bye-bye.